welcome back to my channel. Makenna here, stitching in sequins. I always appreciate old viewers coming back and new viewers. Thank you so much. This episode's going to be long, but it's going to be worth it. I just got back from vacation this past weekend, and the week before that was my first retreat, Stitchnanigans. People are starting to come out with their videos recapping it, and I'm so glad everyone had such a great time. It was just more than I could have imagined. So I hope this video finds you guys all well. I have been well, and let's just jump into it because I got a lot of stuff to show. So let's start off with Stitchnanigans and get that out of the way. I had been planning Stitchnanigans since July of last year, and it was an absolute blast to organize it and put it all together and then see it all come together with everyone there, my family there, Joe and the boys. It was just amazing, and I can't thank everyone that came enough. Thank you so much. It was just so special. I think each retreat that one goes to is kind of different is special in different ways. The first retreat that I ever went to was the one in Austin, basically the Kickstarter of all these retreats, if you will. Absolutely amazing. My first retreat, I didn't know what to expect. It was life-changing, to say the least. And then every retreat I've gone to since then, each one has been special in their own way. But something with organizing your own retreat and having such a large responsibility, and it was just amazing. And I'm so thankful that I'm in a position where I was able to put it together and that I reach a large audience, and that people were wanting to take time off of work and away from their family and spend their hard-earned money to come to see me and to come see what kind of retreat I would put on. So I sincerely thank each and everybody that came, and it was just fantastic. That's all I can say. It was fantastic. And there will be more. So stay tuned. Watching my channel is going to be the best way to stay updated on when I plan to release more retreat days. I definitely see myself doing a retreat at the San Marcos Golf Resort in Chandler every year. I absolutely loved the people that I worked with at the hotel. The hotel is absolutely perfect. The ballroom that we were at was fantastic, and downtown Chandler is changing a lot and building up a lot. And I loved that, if people wanted to go have dinner, a large group, it wasn't, how many Ubers do we have to order? It was, where do you want to go? And let's start walking, because everything was within walking distance. No faults. Absolutely no faults. I don't regret anything. So all I can say is I had a fantastic time, and thank you to everybody that came. I'm going to start with, let's just get all the Stitchnanigan things out of the way. I had a piece of fabric floating around the room past weekend. And I don't believe it got to everybody. I think I only counted about 55 names on here. I had a total of 73 attendees. But regardless if you have stitched your name on this or not, you are a part of my first retreat. So I actually got this idea from Cassandra Martinez on FlossTube here. And she's like, you know, wedding, you kind of do like a guest book and people sign it. Why not have a piece of fabric that everyone signs? And I loved that idea. So I just got a piece of, I think this is like 16 or 14 count Ida, and had people stitch it however they wanted to, their name, to kind of mark the weekend. So I am absolutely loving how this came out, and I plan on making a wall hanging with it. So yeah, I love this so much, and yeah, I'll be making that up, and once that's done, then I will show you guys the final outcome. I have just a box here. These are items I gave away. You guys will probably see this on other wrap-up videos. Everyone received a swag bag. It was not a swag bag. It was a vag bag, V-A-G. Very awesome gifts. If I was on top of it, I would have brought my little signs. Everyone received a mini Pepe, of course, and I had Big Pepe at the retreat as well. A short itinerary, hours of when the attic was opened, some thrift stores, and a little write-up about the charity that all the money was going to. I only wanted to have one scheduled event, which was the SAG, like saggy boobs, SAG, Stitch and Give, and then have that followed, having the raffle followed by that. I wanted the feeling of the retreat to be very much just come and go as you please. And then I also had a list of all the attendees with their FlossTube and Instagram names. So everyone got a vag bag. Throughout the course of the weekend, I just kind of wanted to sprinkle gifts randomly. So everyone received a crystal, actually a Swarovski crystal, and these are from the San Francisco Opera House from a chandelier. I bought the crystals from the San Francisco School of Needlework and Design. When I was there a couple months back, I saw that there were at least 80 of them and bought them all. So I plan on using some of these in the wall hanging for the name as well. So everyone received one of these, put it on a project, a scissor fob, anything like that. I also had needle minders made. The logo itself, Stitchnanigans Arizona 2019, was, actually I'll use this one here, was designed by Arlene Cohen. And I sent off the logo to then be made into these wooden needle minders. So love this, that everyone received one. And I have quite a few left over, so I'll have to figure out a way to incorporate the extras as well. I also wanted to do board / shot glasses. So I have collected since July a variety of glass containers. They were all different. I wanted to give people options. So everybody received an Orc container / shot glass. I made lavender filled sachet bags. I wanted things that were different. I didn't want to just hit up distributors and ask for scissors or for fabric. Like, that stuff's all wonderful and excellent to receive at retreats, but we already have so much of that. So I was trying to go in a direction of things that just kind of different and unique. So sachet bags, I made all of the bags. It was 3 different fabrics everyone could choose from, and I filled them with lavender. And then I had a woman, I found her on Etsy. She crocheted these cacti. They're poly filled. There's a magnet on the bottom. And I actually have mine here that I've kept. So everyone at the retreat got one of those. Actually, those 2 are the ones that the boys want for their room. So the boys loved meeting everybody, had them help out with the raffle and the SAG gifts, Joe as well. And it was fantastic. What the phone is sitting on, I'm going to move you here. I wanted to make thread conditioners for people, even if you don't use them. It's just a fun thing to have. So I made thread conditioners. People had the option of a flamingo. Flamingo. I also make cactuses, and those ones sold out, or not sold out. Those ones were picked right away. And then, of course, you guys, it wouldn't be a retreat without me if I didn't put in, something kind of inappropriate. Or you could choose penises. So, yeah. So I'm happy I have a few of those left over. Alright, let me get you guys situated back up here. You guys are drinking. Alright, that works. So, I think that is all for Stitchnanigans, freebie, handouts. Again, fantastic time. I loved it. All right. I don't want this to come across as look what I got, or I'm showing off in some manner, but I was given some absolutely lovely, thoughtful, fantastic gifts, and I just want to show a few of those. The lovely Jill Roberts hit it out of the park, not only with this fantastic hat. My middle name is Mermaid. I would have taken this on vacation this last weekend, but I hadn't shown it, so I can't wear it. But Joe really likes it and says it'll be a good boat hat. And then can we talk about this? Now, my attendees, I had made up a private Facebook group. And in the group, somebody had posted a thread of an item that needed to be made for me. And a couple people said absolutely. And I wasn't sure if someone was actually going to make it and take the time, because it was freaking ridiculous, but then also like freaking perfect for me. So freaking Jill, she's not taking orders. I mean, I don't know. Jill, maybe you should. Jill, I found you a side business. Yeah, she made me a boob bra, tit bra. I don't know. It's amazing. I'm just gonna bring this in a little bit though, because I don't want my nipples going out that way. But yeah, I totally wearing this out somewhere. Don't know where. I don't want to get it wet, so I don't want to like take it on the boat or anything. But this might be something I wear to like a rave. I think would be freaking amazing. The skin tone is actually pretty close. And then everyone had a laugh over the weekend with the nipples. So, Jill, thank you so much. I love it. I'll have to go show Joe and see what he thinks, but I think it's amazing. The hat's perfection. I'm just gonna wear the hat for the rest of the video. So yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so and her grandson, yes, did this like rubbing of mermaid Frida-esque. I love that. Let's see, Becky Johnson. She is a local for part of the year. She gave me these beautiful thank you cards. I believe Becky made this, you guys. She doesn't just stitch, she makes cards. These are fantastic. So I assume that these cards in here are made by Becky as well. And Becky, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to be particular on who I send these thank yous to, because the cards are amazing. So thank you so much. Trying to see who else. This is from Colette. Colette made the trip, and perfect scissor fob for me. So Colette made this absolutely gorgeous, fantastic lobster claw clasp, and the beads. I love the intricacy of all the beads. And then at the end here, look at this, you guys. It's a coffin. You open it up. We got Pepe. It's amazing. And it's magnetic. So thank you so much, Colette. I love it. And now I can use it since I showed it. This next gift was from Desiree Clausen. Again, Jill knows me. Desiree totally knows me. She stitched this for my medical bathroom. Always give 100% unless you're giving blood. So yes, I will be framing these up and sticking this in my medical bathroom. This is fantastic. But then the swag bag, okay? And she had written in her note to me, make sure you read who it's from. So I'm like, oh, did someone like fancy make it? So I'm reading it. Black swag purse, fine sell work. I'm like, Okay, I still don't understand. So I'm reading through, you can see here, fine cell work. So I flip it over. Guys, Desiree, ugh! Handmade in prison. Fine Cell Work is a social enterprise that teaches needlework to prisoners. Our mission is to reduce reoffending by helping prisoners earn money, gain skills, and build a sense of self-worth and self-discipline. To offer your appreciation to the Stitcher, write to Stitcher, care of prison care, blah, blah, blah. I'm so going to write that. You know, they don't say like, oh, prisoner number A76B. Like, they don't. I think it's just like the letter goes to like everyone, and it's kind of like a general thank you. It's out of London, findcellwork.co.uk. Oh, I love it. So it'd be interesting. Do they make it? Do they do the embroidery of it? Do they put... I would just be interested to know, do they make the whole bag? Do they sew it? I assume that it's everything. And then Desiree was amazing, and she put a stripper one in it. So thank you. See, not everyone would appreciate such a thing. A bag made from a prisoner. Me. It's the little things, people. It really is the little things. Loving this hat, by the way. Thanks, Jill. All right. Was totally not expecting this. Actually, Christine, Stitch All the Things, you know her, you love her. She reached out to me and offered to, she wanted to make some raffle bags she wanted to make some project bags for the raffle I was going to be holding. Side note, the money raised through raffle tickets at $1 each, which the raffle table was called Whores. We hope our raffle excites and stimulates. I had a whole group of people helping me with these names, so that didn't just come from up here. So the money made off of the raffle table, raffle tickets sold, went to Hospice of the Valley. I shop a lot, as you guys know, from White Dove, their thrift store, and I think it's uber important to give back. So I went in one day and let them know my idea, and they absolutely loved it and appreciated me thinking of them. Then also money that was collected from donations off the TIT table, thrifted items table, TIT. I have collected things from thrift stores for people to use as finishing items, frames. I had like 2 glass like cloches, some saved stitches. You take something off the table, you give me a couple buck donation, that money as well goes to the charity. We also had a freebie table. The freebie table was Dick, Delve into Charty Kindness. I think that's all the tables I had. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a fabulous time. So, Christine wanted to make bags. I said, absolutely, free for all, go for it, because you know her bags are amazing. So those were huge money makers and well received and gorgeous. She kindly, I have my own now, Christine bag. It's skeletons, it's Frida, it's bright, it's colorful, it's quilted. It has Christine's sweat on it, kind of even smells like her. It's red, one of my like colors recently. It's got glitter, it's see-through. if you're, now she does, now is it Christine? Christine, you have, just look on Instagram. I don't know if it's, she sells her bags through Instagram or if it's Stitch All the Things D-Stash. Look for it, figure it out. But she'll put up bags every once in a while and they absolutely fly. But I am so honored and so thrilled and so happy that I now own my own Christine bag, and I'm going to show it off. I just want to wear it as a bag. It's beautiful though. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so, so much. It's fantastic. The, oh, since I have this, we had the SAG, and I got up to get my gift to pick one, and I picked Lisa, and here is what she stitched and what I pick, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. I love how you finished it. The stitching is impeccable. Tiny little stitches. Buttons. It's amazing. Open this up and she has goodies. I know, Erwin. This is like magnetic. Is it? Or am I just, no, it's magnetic. She put in one of the needle holders that has the magnet in them so they don't fall out. Needle threader. This fantastic needle minder. Look at that, you guys. I love that. Pair of scissors. Erwin, get down. With this amazing no. You can't get on my lap because of my burn and I need to trim your nails. With this scissor frog already attached to it. Or not a scissor frog. I think I got too much sun. You know what this is. I love this though. Look at this. Boop. I love that. And scissor condom. Love this. Those scissors are amazing too. Look at the shape of those. So thank you so much, Lisa. I absolutely love this. And I'm going to figure out somewhere to put this on my desk and use it so I can see it. Or I'll figure out somewhere to incorporate it into my stuff. I got medical items from another Lisa, Kara, K, and Lisa. Yes, Lisa, yes. They drove. She brought me. I know you guys are already laughing. Get your mind out of the gutter because my mind doesn't go there. But it totally went there with this. I forgot to actually ask her, remind her. No, okay. So I'm reading it. It's for dialysis. It's a clean one. It has not been used. I don't even know how this works. It's fantastic though. But I believe someone was supposed to come in for dialysis and they never came. And now I have it. And this is, yes, going in my medical bathroom. And then she brought me a whole list of vials and good stuff as well. I haven't even looked at it. But this Epigen is actually what people used, like Lance Armstrong used like for his doping. There's none left, so I can't give any to Joe. But I love these vials. I think I'm gonna like fill them up, like get like a vase or something and fill them up or like a bowl. And then even Dirty D, shout out to Diana, she got me some laxative pills. 1 or 2 pills as required to relieve constipation for children under 12 years old. Usually use only as directed. 100 pills. I love that it's in a glass bottle. Pills are in there. Maybe one day for science, I'll test them out if, like, I'm desperate for viewers or something. Trisha likes doing the For Science stuff. I'm not touching those. Beautiful Marcy Thiessen. Instead of wearing this, I should have worn this. You guys, look. It's a halter, full-on pantsuit, sequin, goodness. I'm totally wearing this to a rave, along with some bell-bottom pants as well. They're not really bell-bottom, but they definitely flare out. But black, silver, and all kinds of other fantastic goodies. And Leslie got the boys a gift, Butterfly Garden. They actually are crazy about this. They want to do this ASAP. But you send in the voucher and then you get back 5 baby caterpillars. And then you watch your caterpillars grow in here. I think that's fantastic. She was saying that she had bought it and then she herself was finding herself buying them just for her own amusement. So thank you so much. The boys love this. Very kind of you to think of the boys and bring them. If I'm not showing your gift, I apologize. Just so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right, so let's show some stitching, because prior to Stitchnanigans, or since my last video, Jill, I'm going to take this off because actually, if I wear anything halter for a long time, I actually start getting a headache. So like swimsuits and stuff, I have to make sure like my swimsuit top is actually more like bra style, because I get a headache. I know, too much TMI. Anyway, but since my last video, I have stitched a lot. So let me show you what I've been working on. Let's go back. Emily C had a sal for her birthday. People could have, she had picked Go Load for everyone to stitch on. Go Load's really not my thing. I mean, it is, but it's not. If you get the joke, great. I decided to go with something just as funny with a sexual joke. So I picked from Heartstring Samplery, The Gobbler. The Gobbler Rides Again. And I stitched her up and finished it into a pillow filled with rice. I got the inspiration to use blue fabric because I was watching Diana's progress on her Go Load and she used red, and I thought I want to use a color as well of fabric. So I picked this blue and I absolutely love it. And I used the called for colors for the turkey and for the horse. And usually the horse, when it's such large blocks like that, I'll usually outline and then I'll just fill in randomly. But with me using a variegated color, I actually went back and forth. And I love the variegation that came out. I added the little stars on the fabric as well. There was more like a moon, and then writing, and then stitching in the words, the gobbler rides again. But I just liked it as is. Found just some fabric in my stash, did my little pasty hole, and I actually frayed the edges of the fabric. I pulled some of the threads and then used some spray adhesive and slapped it over the hole. So this actually sits in my dough bowl in my kitchen, and I love it. So that was a finish. A finish that I had at Stitchnanigans. Sirens of the Sea by Carriage House Samplings. This I used colors from Color and Cotton. I get Color and Cotton subscription every month. I get 3 colors, and I had them just stacking up in my closet in my like antique dish, and I thought, I haven't touched them. I think I've used them before on some Halloween piece. Absolutely loved them, and I thought, I'm gonna do sirens and convert it or use my colors that I wanted for this. So still obsessed with the colored fabric. Picked blue, and this is where I decided to finish her. And she says, "Fear not the sirens of the sea." I absolutely love how her skin has a little bit of variegation to it. I decided to leave her boob as is. It kind of looks more like a pocket. But not everyone's boobs look alike. Everyone can have different looking boobs. So I left it as is. And yeah, so I decided to stop here. Now I had stitched in these little details here, and it just looked weird. I was not going to do the sand, and I didn't have enough Color and Cotton to do the border as well. So that's why I decided to stop where I did. And I'm totally fine with it. And I love it. So that was a finish at Stitchnanigans. And then if you recall, I had talked about Beasties a couple months back, saying I was at Stitchville in October for the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat, and I don't know, I kind of had like this weird epiphany walking through the store thinking, you know, the order of my whips, Beasties falls at the bottom. Now, I don't hate it. I love it. But there's so much more. There's so many other patterns I would rather be stitching and putting my time into. So this is Beasties Courtney Collection, the same designer that I stitched Nightmare. So mono piece. I stitched this on Wicked Garden. It was 32 count Jobelin from Color Cascades fabric. Danielle Stitcherista sent it to me, and I thought this was perfect fabric to stitch it on. I started this on 5/15 of 17, and I'm calling it donezo. So if you had remembered, I actually had messed up early on and had not come down far enough because there was supposed to be a flamingo standing on his, balancing on his hand. So I had omitted that. Obviously continued stitching. I called him Jim. I used what? DMC 535. It's like a dark gray. I finished out the crocodile, and I'm ending it there. there's only 3 more pages along the bottom for the kangaroo and whatever you want to consider that monster. But I'm happy with this being done. You know, I've done it before where I've cut other charts short, and I'm totally fine with it. So, not sure how I'm going to finish this. Probably just frame it up, but I don't know. Nothing's really calling to me yet. So, yeah, Beasties Courtney collection is done. And that fabric was really nice to work on. First time I had used or stitched on Color Cascade, so highly recommend checking that out. Also got an inkling. Now I'm gonna do my usual Forest Embroidery PSA. I have not received the shipment yet. When I do, I will post it on 1884 on Instagram. So follow me 1884 Stitchery on Instagram, and then I'm also on 1884 Stitchery on Facebook. So when I receive the Forest shipment, which remember, the first shipment took 2 months. They just shipped it a little bit over a month ago, okay? So we still, I hope we don't have to wait to 2 months. But right now, it's still getting to me. When I get the box, I will post on 1884 on Instagram and on Facebook that I received it. Now, I will blast it everywhere in my social media and let everyone know that I have received it, but I will not be putting things up ASAP to get them sold. I will pick probably like a Sunday when people are home. I will pick a time and a date. I will advertise it and let you know when the items will be live, and that's how it's going to be done. I kind of want it to be fair because I know a lot of people have contacted me. I'm not doing wait lists. I'm not taking pre-orders. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I have made an order with Forest, but they make these boxes by hand, individually package each one. So they don't just have them up on their shelves. And I said, send out what you have ASAP. So my one order has actually been broken into 2 shipments. So the first shipment has shipped. That's what shipped over a little more than a month ago, which I do not have. So I will not be receiving all of, the whale charts or whale kits. I will only have a limited number. So they're coming. I don't know when, but I will let everybody know. I will smoke signal, write it in the sky, get it out to people that I have the shipment, and I will be releasing for everyone to go crazy on a certain date and time. But I wanted to get back to my Forest embroidery kit that I had bought last year, that I absolutely, well, no, it was earlier in 2019 that I fell in love with. And once I had seen what they're about and everything, I knew that I absolutely wanted to carry them on 1884. So I do not have any of these Amore kits. I will be getting more, but I have none in stock right now. So this is Amore. It is a Russian fairy tale. I do not know the story behind it, but a mermaid's in a tree, and there's a guy flying and holding, another guy's holding his beard with a sword. I love it. It's kooky. I'm kooky. So yes. This is the kit. You get 32 count Zweigart Belfast. They give you about 1.5 2-inch margin. If that's not enough for you, or you're afraid of the size when you get the fabric, you can swap it out. It's totally doable. Realize though, it's 2/2 on 32. So if you change that, you could be running short on thread if you go a bigger size. So just keep that in mind. You get the Finca threads that are hand dyed, a needle minder, you get the fabric, you get the chart, all in here. Fabulous. So I wanted to get back to my Amore because it's such an easy stitch. I love the threads. The variegation is absolutely killer. And I just wanted to have a little more progress on it, so then when the kit does come back in stock, I have, you know, a little more to show you guys. Take it off the hoop. I've been obsessed with hoops lately. I don't know, the Q-snaps just, I don't know. Not doing the Q-snap thing. So I need to get more plastic hoops because these wooden ones, they work, they're not super. So here I am with my Amore. The border up here along the top, that is the top section. I love the thread with the red. It's like reddish orange. The green variegation for the leaves is spectacular. And I worked on this at retreat and basically got all of this here. So I had started in the middle with the owl, and I have more of the tree, more of the cat, these like 5 soldiers, and then the guy flying with a long beard and the guy attached. So yeah, I love this. And this is Amore from Al Forst. Embroidery. And that is living in my Momily bag. Another project which I've been going absolutely gangbusters on. I took Amore and this one to California. We went to San Diego this past weekend for 4 days, just kind of de-stress from the retreat. And it's kind of like a little celebration of the retreat being done, and the boys had been asking to go to the beach, so we went. And I wanted to work on something in the car that was definitely 2/2. I can stitch in the car and not get sick, which I know is not the case for a lot of people. But I wanted something with a little bit more defined holes, just so it'd be easier to stitch while being in a moving vehicle, which can be bumpy. So, of course, Mary Hawk, 1830. It's a collaborative effort between Arlene, Works by ABC, and myself, and sold exclusively only on 1884stitchery.com. That's my business. I had, let me just get up and show it to you guys. Beginning of the year, I had come across this sampler. Here is the original from 1830. Absolutely fell in love with it. The bright colors. Now, you like samplers, Makenna, not a sampler. I don't know what it was though. I think it was the bright colors and that it wasn't big. It's totally doable. Like, you can get this done within your lifetime. Um, and it's all charted in DMC, so you're not doing anything fancy floss, none of that craziness. And I loved this little section down at the bottom. I loved this here, the A through G in all eyelets, which I plan on doing. I love the row of crowns, and then down here with the birds, the trees. So this, I charted it. You know, as I talked about, I wanted to be a little more hands-on in the whole process. So have the program, I charted everything. And basically it's your new sheet comes up, your new project comes up on the computer, and it's all grid. And you pick where you want your first is. You make sure you're on the right DMC color, and you have to click on every single square, and that's what the chart becomes. That's what you read. So when you get a chart from any designer, if it's not handwritten, they have been in a program and sat there and tediously clicked on every single square to make that C or that letter. So that's what I did, and it was kind of like diamond painting on the computer. I absolutely loved the process. I did not find it tedious or boring. I actually was able to bust out in a couple days. I picked all the DMC colors that were the closest to the original. I sent the work off to Arlene, and she Arlened and added it, made it all beautiful, and this is what you get when you order it. So Mary Hogg 1830 1884 Stitchery.com exclusive. You can only find it there. $10. I am doing it on, it is on, it's, the original is on about a 30 count. So somehow I had a long piece of 30 count in my stash, and here is where I am at. And I am loving it. Let me see. I'm loving it. This blue line here, it's kind of like this backstitch squares all along. That was kind of fun to do. But yeah, this is where I'm at on my Mary Hogg piece, and I would like to get this done by May 1st. I just hit the halfway point, just because I do have plans for Mania. That will be a separate video. I will be talking about Mania plans. So I would like to get this done because I'm afraid if people use this, people are stitching it, and because it's totally a project that can be whipped up in a couple weeks, or probably a week if you just solely work on it and how fast of a stitcher you are. But I want to be the first one done stitching this. So I know it's not a race, but it is, because I know people have begun working on it. And I don't know if those people are like one project kind of stitchers. And I know a couple people that will be starting Mary for Stitch Mania. So this has kind of been my focus piece and will be until May. I actually found stitching, so I took this to California, and there was one evening the boys were gone, and so I was at the house by myself for a few hours. I actually found 2 mistakes. I have posted those on my Facebook group for 1884 and on Instagram. And then, but don't worry, because when you order it, since I have found the mistake, when you order the chart, I will go in and be correcting it. The mistakes, it's 2 very small little things on how the W is charted. I forgot to add a dot to finish off how the W is laid out. So when you order this, before I send it to you, I will open up the pattern, write in the little black circle dot, so you may not even notice it. But that's what happens when you do a chart. There are bound to be mistakes. I was hoping not to have any mistakes. That's the perfectionist in me, but it happens, and it's a quick and easy fix. So that's okay. So that's all I've been stitching on. Thrift store shopping, or actually before thrifting. So about a month, no, it was when I went to Vegas. So maybe 2 months ago, it was February. Was it back in January? Could have been January. I went to Vegas with my girlfriend. And that weekend that I'd gone was actually the funeral of my grandpa. My dad's mom had passed away. So I had told him when he was in Wisconsin going through her items from the assisted living place, I said if there's something that she has, I would love to have it. So he brought back a book, The 3 Little Kittens, and he said that this was on her nightstand, and he remembers this book always kind of being around or within eyesight with him growing up. The book is absolutely gorgeous. The colors, with it being closed, are still super bright and vibrant. There's an inscription, Merry Christmas to Ruth Andrews, that was my grandmother, from Uncle Harry and Aunt Emily, December 25th, 1929. And then my grandma had written in next to the writing, 4 years old, as in she was 4 years old when she received the book. Look at that writing. So she had held on to it ever since. Peter Rabbit series, and it talks about these other books in the series. Price 60 cents each. 24 colored illustrations. Copyright 1922. And yeah, it's just amazing. It smells old. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's in pretty damn good shape for being almost 100 years old. It's a little coming along the binding. But I am so glad that I have this and have something to remind me of her. I can remember when we lived in Minnesota, we visited them just a couple times. So the relationship that I had with my dad's parents is definitely different from the relationship that I have with my mom's parents. So my dad's parents, I only met them a handful of times. But regardless, I'm happy that I have something of hers to have. Thrifting, that's like a yes, I have to. like Bendy was totally killing me with the trivet game, because I don't know if it's just the Pacific Northwest they only use trivets and they don't use trivets down here in Arizona, but I'm killing the trivet game now. So this one is amazing. I love the detail on that. Boop. Love the iron work of it. And I looked at the tile afterwards. A Woman's Day, the olden way, hanging candlestick, candle mold, candle making. So I think it's actually kind of cool, this tile. So I don't actually know if I will be popping the tile out of here. I guess I easily could. Bendy says when you push it out, they rarely break. But I kind of thought that tile was kind of cool. But I love this though. Another trivet I got. Just seeing what they're writing. Here's another trivet that I picked up. And then I found this circular one for $2. Has like food and stuff on it. Kitchen. Mom's kitchen. So yeah, I'm killing the trivet game. So I gotta figure out with my Sirens of the Sea. No, they're too big. Never mind. If you saw on Instagram and Stitchmania a couple weeks ago, I had posted that I went thrift store shopping and probably found, this is definitely a thrift store score of a lifetime. I have definitely come across some amazing thrift store scores. All that fabric that I came across, I've come across thread and little items, bric-a-brac kind of stuff. All the pieces of Save the Stitches that I have found. But this is something that is up there with like one of two things that I always think about when I go out thrifting. One, will I find something like this, which I'm going to show you guys, or coming across some deceased stitcher stash. Like just everything, which I have found, bits and pieces of, but not like, I guess I have hit the mother lode a few times, but not in the way that I define it. So when I saw this was at St. Vincent de Paul, and I was not impressed with the store. I wasn't seeing anything that I thought was good. The prices were a little high on frames, like $4 for a frame with no glass, when I can find them for like $1 each with glass. So I thought, okay, before I leave, let's go through the artwork section. And I didn't see anything. And I happened to look up, and they had stuff hanging up on the wall, and I saw this. And I am not religious, so I do not know how it works, but a beam of light came out of the store opening. The store opened, shot through the roof, and landed on this, and I was like, what? It had a price tag of $15, and there was a big sign that said, do not grab, do not touch, hanging artwork, ask for assistance. I read it. I didn't abide by it. I grabbed this thing so damn fast off the wall to look at it. One, my first thought was no effing way. My second thought was maybe it's a print, because I have come across samplers that are actually like posters. And then number 3 was, holy shit, no way. So $15, I scored this mother. if you go back on my Instagram, I have closer up photos. It's freaking amazing. And I love this bottom section. Satin stitches and all kinds of goodness. It's fabulous. Professionally framed. No writing on the back of who stitched it, but they did have they took the time to cut out the meaning or the history on this piece. So the original sampler from which the chase has been reproduced was worked by Mary Starker, born January 9th, 1749, in Newbury, Massachusetts. She was 11 years old when she completed the work. Several similar examples have surfaced from the Newbury and Boston areas, although it is still uncertain from which young ladies' school they came. Mary worked her sampler in silk floss on linen canvas using a variety of stitches, including satin, cross, outline, stem, eyelet, queen, rice, and French knots. The letters J and U were rarely included in alphabets before the late 18th century, and in some instances not until the mid-19th century. I and J were used interchangeably, as were the letters U and V. The title of this reproduction sampler, The Chase, is inspired by the embroidered picture at the bottom of the sampler, Department of Textiles, Colonial Williamsburg. This is actually a kit that, if you can find it, it's easily over $200. So somebody had stitched this. I'm probably thinking, the 70s or 80s. And so it's in silks and perfection. There is no signature on it. I've looked. And it's these things. This is absolutely gorgeous. There's some of you that are probably seeing this for this first time, like mouth open right now, or I can't believe you scored something like that. That's the thing. Like, I couldn't believe that this was hanging in a thrift store for $15. One, insult that it's at a thrift store. Two, that it's for sale for $15. But major score for me, because I would have spent $30 for this to bring it home, appreciate it, love it as long as I'm alive, and totally appreciate the work that went into every single stitch, the time and the hours. And it's like, who stitched this though? I assume because it's at a thrift store that this person is deceased. And obviously the family probably thought, holy crap, that's ugly. And to me, it's like, holy crap, that's beautiful. They probably thought and just like at the thrift store, they probably thought, put $15 on it, it's not desirable. And it's like, oh, it's totally desirable. So I am just in love with this. I absolutely love this piece. Beautifully framed. I love the frame on it too. It complements it nicely. And it's gonna have to hang on this wall somewhere. Unless I hang it somewhere. Maybe I'll start taking over this hallway, but I would love to see it. So picked that up. Also, while out thrifting, I found I don't know if I showed this to you guys last time, a frame for this diamond painting piece that I finished a couple months back. Absolutely amazing. I love her as well. So she needs to be hung up. Some fabulous stitchy kindness mail from Jenny. She hasn't made a video in a long time. Jenny, come back! just Jenny. So she sent me some Gentle Arts thread, a beautiful handwritten note, which I can only assume was written in one of her many beautiful pens that she collects. And then some Jewelry Designs thread, of which I've never had, and these colors are perfection. So thank you so much, Jenny. She also sent 3 Frida lipsticks. I think you can get them, if you can find them. I've only seen them at CVS, and that was like, maybe like a couple years ago. And I never picked them up. I've had people send some of them to me. But Jenny, it's funny because I was running low on 2 of the colors that I wear a lot. This color, which you sent, and another one. And then you sent like some new red peachy color, which I absolutely love. Will be perfect here for summer. So thank you so much. Okay, that's it. I am going to add in some video. Okay, this is going to be, we're going to change this up. I'm going to add in some pictures and videos here of Stitchnanigans, and then I will come back and talk about my San Diego vacation a little bit. And I went to the bookstore and found some stuff, so I'll come back and show you guys all of that after this. Room is set up, and I am going to open up the doors now and let everyone come on in. It's a gorgeous day, and yeah, can't wait for all the fun to happen. So I guess I should do a rundown of the raffle table, the items. So they're just raffle items that I've collected at thrift stores or through my own personal stash. And it's kind of a mix. Got the new DMC card, Momily bag, which I think will be uber popular. Of course, we had to throw in some diamond painting kits. And this is the horror table, actually horror's table. We hope our raffle excites and stimulates. Some other kits. This is a vintage chin that I filled with buttons and kind of some sewing accoutrements. We got some thread. I got a stack of fabric as well, scissor frog, and then this sewing machine is from, I think, the 1920s. It's broken, so obviously it will be more of a decor piece. Extremely heavy, so better for people that are driving. These boxes I actually get at Costco. There's a set of 5, and this is what I used for my thread and my fabric, so those will be available for raffle winning as well. Pepe is not a raffle item. So this will be taking place, the raffle, on Saturday, and tickets will be $1, and all of the money collected will be donated to Hospice of the Valley, which is the organization I am supporting this weekend.
Well, if you're going to give it, no, you're going to give it. No, that's a big one. Well, it's because you're part of your position.
Here is a clip of the items that were stitched and then given as gifts for Stitch and Give. Here is the one I made. Lovely Lisa stitched it. Gorgeous. With all kinds of lovely goodies inside. This is mine here that I gave away. And the lovely Gay received it. Perfect. And here are the other gorgeous items as well. Just fabulous. So went to San Diego. We drove over last Thursday, the 18th, and got home yesterday around 4 o'clock. Erwin stayed here. My mom checked on Erwin. Wally went to the doggy hotel where he loves to go, and people love him and give him all kinds of attention. So we had the boys. They just didn't go to school on Thursday, and then they were off Friday, and then yesterday for Easter. So we stayed in Mission Beach. That was the first time we had stayed in Mission Beach. I've shared before that we usually stay in La Jolla, but the trip was decided on so last minute. We couldn't find a house on the beach that we usually go for. So we didn't have a view of the beach, no balcony. But I will insert a clip here of the little place that we rented. And then I think I also tacked on a walk to the beach so you can see how close we were. Welcome to Mission Bay, San Diego. So I'm going to give you a little tour of our apartment, I guess you would call, that we're just renting from, well, until Monday. So kind of sitting area, stitching, no ocean view like we usually do. We looked into La Jolla again, but it was just ridiculous expensive for so last minute. So it works, it's cute. So this is the entrance, little sitting area. I've taken over here my stitching. So I've been working on Mary. Cute little bathroom, and would you believe the shitter has the perfect view to the ocean. Yeah. So ocean view, it's just in the crapper. Here is our bedroom. Again, nothing fancy. Oh, you can see what I'm wearing today. It's a little cold at the beach. So I'm just gonna take a sweatshirt just in case. This is where the boys are bunking. Kind of interesting. It's very ship-like. And then through the door goes back into the kitchen. So super, super tiny, and makes me happy that we don't live in a place this tiny, because it would drive me nuts not having my own space. So I am ready to go down to the beach, and you guys can walk with me because the beach is super close. So we come out, we have this whole patio area down below. Let's see, do I need anything? No. Locked it? All right. So let's go down these steps. And then to shower off all the sand, we have like this little area here. This patio is us. We're gonna walk this way. This is actually someone else's patio, but we're cutting through. And here we go. So super, super close. We got some clouds moving in, so not sure how long we'll be able to stay at the beach till it gets either rainy or ridiculously cold. Walk across. And the boys were kind of bummed we didn't get our place in La Jolla. Oh, you know what? I need the boys' sweatshirts. Oh well, I'll come back. Because then, if you've seen past videos, they can just go down and go across the beach themselves as we watch them from the patio. So this is kind of close, but this is like this whole boardwalk area, no cars, it's just the scooters and runners. Kind of overcast, cloudy day. It is cold with the wind. And places along the beach. So we'll go here, and I think this is Joe here. Shoes off. At least the sand's warm, but it is cold. So I'll add any other footage that I can think of, but just wanted to kind of show you my digs and the beach. So it was perfect. I mean, basically you just need a good, clean, safe place to stay, sleep, and shower, because otherwise you're outside at the beach or walking around town. So it was absolutely perfect. The weather was perfect. It was cold. One day, I think that was Friday, it was cold. We were out there for like less than a half an hour, and that's when we decided to go to the aquarium. And Saturday and Sunday, it was absolutely perfect. And when we left Monday, around 10 o'clock, it was already blue sky and no wind, so it was probably a fabulous day yesterday as well. So Friday, after we went to the aquarium, we went, which is located in La Jolla. I told Joe that I wanted to go to the bookstore that I always hit up. If you guys remember in the past, in La Jolla, there is this fabulous used bookstore, D.G. Willis. Check it out if you are in the La Jolla area, D.G. Willis. They have this little alley next to the store. If you're looking at the store, to the left, there's this alley. And there are bookshelves lining this alley with books on them. And all the books out there were $1. I've bought, I don't know if it was last summer or the summer before, I went out there and bought like 30 books for $30, and they were all like worn and old and smelling old and wonderful. And I actually use those for decor in our family room. So I didn't find any super old deteriorating ones, so I don't know if he goes through them every once in a while and kind of puts new inventory outside and changes them up. But I found 2 outside that I absolutely loved. So I totally judge a book by its cover, because you're looking at the spines of all these books, and the green with the gold writing totally interests me. And the name of the book, Miss Stagg's Husbands, there's a book about that. I don't know what it's about, but yes. And First American Edition. And then I love when past owners have put in their little, I don't know what these are called, but I think they're always so amazing. So this was previously owned by Thomas Wayne Norris. And the date on this is 1873. But yeah, I just love it. It'll just sit on a shelf out there, but I love the title of it. This other book I came across as well, I loved the embossing of it, kind of this floral embossing, and then with the gold as well. It's on the front and back. This book is Drake's Poems. I didn't know that he made, I know he did rap music, I didn't aware that he made poems. But I loved about this, look at the water damage. Now, I don't know if this is from just being outside. Now, he doesn't move these bookshelves. They always stay outside. And they have like this bamboo, like, they almost look like window coverings on them, which is probably like to like try to keep dirt and dust off them and like rain. But otherwise, they're out in the open. So I love the water damage that is on this book. So here is, let's see, and this is from J.R. Drake. So here's the handsome devil himself. And then I love when old books have the little paper to separate the drawings. And this book is from 1835. Just yeah, fantastic. Just amazing. I love it. So yeah, picked those two up. So again, $1 each. Amazing. Then I went inside, because inside the actual store is he has new books, but predominantly used books, but still in fabulous condition. I'm actually going to insert photos and videos of what the inside of the store looks like here. So I'm in La Jolla at my favorite bookstore, D.G. Willis, and the books that are outside are $1. If you guys remember last year and the year before, I picked up all kinds of cross-stitch books, and all these books out here are lined up are $1 as well. So I've picked up a lot of them just because they're good, like decor books and really old and, you know, faded and stuff. So yeah, I just love these. He had more along here last year. Actually, they're all here covered, so I'm gonna figure out what I can find or see what I can find. But yeah, I mean, look at these. Like, these are perfect for just, you know, decor books. So I'll see what I can find and check back in with you guys. I mean, I'm not a huge reader, but I can appreciate old books, and stores like that I just absolutely love. So I went in. I think he remembered me, because I said, "Hey, I've been coming here to the La Jolla area for the last 3 years with my family." I said a couple years ago I bought like $30 worth of books outside, so I think he kind of remembered me. And so walking around, found kind of like the artsy, craftsy sort of section of the books, but didn't see anything cross stitch or books that would be inspirational enough to maybe make future cross stitch patterns. So then I asked him and I said, "Hey, do you have a section or any books kind of put away that maybe you don't have out of cross stitching or needlework, embroidery, needlepoint?" And he took me all the way in the back, because you know that's where the good books are, all the way in the back. And he said, "This section here," and I found 2 major scores. Absolutely loved them. So this one, rubbings and texture, and I fell in love with this right here. Cross stitch pattern, people. Absolutely. So receipts. So it's a whole book on the craft of making rubbings from textured and low relief surfaces, and they give you how to do it, the proper ways of doing it, because it's not just paper over a headstone and you use a crayon. They have, you know, depending on what you're trying to get the texture, there's a dry technique, a wet technique, carbon, dabbing, and foil technique. And then it also gives examples. So like a brief history of it. Here are rubbings of the 6 Chinese rubbings of Lone Han. They were the disciples of Buddha. So these are all rubbings. And then, you know, a write-up and stuff. So I'm going through and I'm like kind of flipping through the back and come across, there's a section that talks about gravestones. Oh, you guys! This is the image on the front. So I'm like, hells yes, 1884 is going to pair up again with Works by ABC, and we're going to have some exclusive stuff. Look, here's Pepe. Goddamn Pepe's and everything. Okay. Look at this, you guys. Old example of a rubbing produced with a carbon technique. Alicia Lyon, 1767, East Woodstock, Connecticut. Of that gravestone. Okay, so this is the front of the book. You can see they just took that image, and here's the rest of the stone. And I'm flipping, and I say, holy crap, that looks familiar. Now, Harleen, Works by ABC, came out with Susanna Jane. This is Susanna Jane. This is a gravestone from 1776. It's in Marblehead, Massachusetts. And this unique stone was cut by Henry Christian Grayer. The design is in this book, and I am working on stitching this. Yes. So, then we have rubbings of other headstones. And I'm like, yes, on all of these. I freaking love this book. And they don't have just they have actual pictures too. So it's not just rubbings. And they actually talk about this one here. So it says, annually hundreds of stones succumb to the ravages of time, nature, and man. The Daniel Chapman stone, 1741, Westport, Connecticut, was permanently defaced when someone attempting to copy the design inked the carving with an oil base printer's ink. That's what you get here. So some moron wanted that and thought, oh, we'll put it on, probably put the paper over it, rub it down, and pick it up. No, you freaking stained it. You're a moron. Because you don't see headstones like this anymore. When I die, this is the kind of headstone Mama's getting. So Joe better sell all my shoes because we're going to have something like this. So rubbings and texture, loved that. And then I'm looking along as well, and I see this. And I read the spine. Girlhood Embroidery, American Samplers and Pictorial Needlework, 1650 to 1850, Betty Ring. I don't know what the hell this is. I pulled it out, though, and saw that it's this 2-volume book. And the thing on the back, so it's 623 illustrations and 376 in full cover. I love this one on the back, though. You guys know me and my morning samplers that I'm obsessed with. So I take out the books. This thing, by the way, is in like mint condition. Ouch. They're so mint. You know how the corner of books can be really sharp, and it just scratched me on my sunburn. You guys want to see my sunburn? It's pretty sexy. Look at that. I'm not going to see this on anyone else's channel. I don't know how that shows up, but yeah. Oh, that hurts. Oh, so books, absolutely gorgeous. They still have the new book smell. I don't even think it's been cracked. But the history of samplers from 1650 to 1850 are in these books. Colored photos, and gives history of all, I guess, what they know of these samplers. In the beginning, it talks about like where needlework started from, and then how it's been incorporated and how girls did it in school, in the schools that came to teach women needlework, and then how it's kind of just developed from there. Let's see here. Anonymous mourning embroidery with a monument dedicated to Miss Abigail Gage, who died March 12th, 1807, aged 24 years, circa 1823. Silk pencil, paint on silk. And then they talk, and then it even spells out the memorial verse begins. So they've kind of done a little bit of a history on it. So yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing with these. My first initial thought was buy it and flip it, because this is actually really hard to find, but I'm not really sure now. I definitely want to sit down and flip through every page and read through it. So maybe sometime in the future this will be a up on sale on 1884 Stitchery. Not exactly sure. The guy was like, even like, what's that book? And there was like a layer of dust on the top, and so he marked it down for me because it was dusty. But yeah, no, trip was fantastic. Had a blast. Happy to be back though. I feel tired. I feel recharged and ready to kind of just get back to everything. So thank you guys. Oh, no, one more thing. So yesterday when we were I guess it was because we left Monday. So Sunday we were looking for some ice cream place that Joe wanted to stop at. And we were going down a street, and I look out the window, Needlecraft Cottage. I'll put the address down below. Located in Mission Beach. And we drove by, and I'm like, Needlework Cottage. So I looked it up. I saw that they had cross-stitch stuff. So I had Joe drop me off there yesterday before we pulled out. He went and got gas and stuff. And then I said, just come on back and pick me up. So I'm going to add photos and videos of Needlework Cottage here. Super cute place. Definitely for yarn lovers. You could see that they had just one tiny little room of cross stitch items. I didn't get any patterns. There was nothing there that interested me or to bring back and to put on 1884. A ton of Mill Hill kits. So if you are looking for maybe a Mill Hill kit that you can't find anywhere, give Needlework Cottage a call. There was also like kind of this room, not kind of like a really nice shed, not attached to the building in the back. And she said that's where they kept like DMC and floss like that. But there was no reason for me to go and look at any of that. But cute little store, but holy moly, if you're into yarn, that's the place to go. And I wanted to buy something to support, local business. I think that's uber important. So she had, these are from Plymouth Yarn Company, these bags that are handmade, hand embroidered in Thailand. So I decided on this purple one, and then there was also kind of more of a fall oranges and reds and greens, but I loved the purple shades. So you can see front and back. Just amazing, just fabulous. And I love that it's hand clutch, so can't lose it all that hard. And then just black inside, so super cute. I'm happy I purchased something from the store. Yeah. And then I haven't actually read through these yet. When my mom was up visiting my grandparents, her parents, my grandma had actually pulled these news clippings for me. This is from December 5th, 2018. Shops asked to look for stolen antique samplers. And I haven't read this article, but the Vancouver police are asking staff at a secondhand store and pawn shops be on the lookout for 2 antique samplers recently stolen in a burglary. Pieces are valued at $32,000 each. They kind of explain what cross stitch is, how they include the name of Maria Wise on one and Phoebe Sawyer on the other. Stitching on one indicates that it was stitched around 1791. Pieces were stolen from Vancouver residence by a man on November 24th. Police are asking a local antique stores, pawn shops, and secondhand stores to keep an eye out for the stolen merchandise. And then my grandma had actually wrote up at the top that they were found. So it's like, how did this guy, okay, the guy broke into the house, I get that, but then how did he realize that these things hanging up on the wall were valued at $32,000? I don't know. Inside job? I'm not sure. Or was it like, oh crap, they're coming, let's take something. This was also another, like a full length article. Okay. This was in the December 23rd, Section D, Life, the Columbian magazine or newspaper, Stitches in Time, on display now at Edinburgh, Scotland. Vancouver collector Leslie Dirt's world-class collection of historical Scottish samplers. So Vancouver philanthropist Leslie Durst, the owner of the world's largest private collection of Scottish samplers, visited a special exhibit of her own collection at the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh earlier this year. So it looks like they actually made like a website, explored the stories and details of Leslie Dirt's collection of Scottish samplers. So it's embroidered embroideredstories.org. No www, but embroideredstories.com. Good. Here she is with her samplers. Her Scottish samplers. And then there's a whole inside story. So look at stitching being in newspapers. Pretty fancy. Okay, that is it. I'm going to add in all this stuff. This is going to be a long one. This is like, I don't know. This is like this video might blow Jessie Marie's videos out of the water. I'm not sure. I'll come back in a couple days to talk about my mania plans. I have stuff pulled. I definitely want to go into detail about my mania plans. Thank you guys so much. Again, those that helped out with Stitchnanigans, I had a wonderful group of friends help me set up everything. So thank you everyone that lent a hand in making Stitchnanigans happen. Thank you to everyone that came and had a wonderful time. I had a fantastic time. And thank you guys just for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.